All right, I'm in the Safari Sunrise Tournament. I'm in the opening round of the Rookie Division. I'm in my practice account. So I shot the front 9 yesterday, and then I played my 77 account, and I've got enough time. I'm going to play my practice account to get it through. So let's see what it takes to get in, like where the minimum, what the scores are here. So the minimum score is minus 26. I got minus 26s all the way down to 66th place, 67th place. So this is the minimum score. So to get in, we're looking at minus 26 to get in, and we've got a bunch of minus 26s that aren't in. What do we got here? 51 to 66. So we got 16 people that aren't going to make it, even shooting the minimum score. So these brackets are always really tough. I came in on the front 9 just shooting the minimum. So I just shot a flat round on the front, and let's see what the tiebreaker is at 50th place. So I just need to pick it up. Just need to pick up one shot here on the back. What is it? What's our tiebreakers here? Qualification minus 13, and I shot a 14, I believe. So if I can 15, so all I got to do is shoot the minimum score on the back, and I can make it. But obviously the goal is minus 15, and I need to pick up a couple because of my guerrilla goal is to try and work myself to minus 30 in a round. I have no idea who's at the top or what's at the top, so we'll see if we can get it done. Hole number 1. Here we roll. Hole number 10. Hole number 1. All right. I looked at it. I'm ready. I'm ready to roll. Unfortunately, in my main account, I've got an APOC 4, which is not an uncommon club for everybody to have, but this account's older, and with the club card trading, I've gotten the APOC enough times that I got my APOC up to level 5 here just in the last week or so. And whenever it ends up in the store, whenever you're playing the Prism chest and you end up with it, you got to take it. You got to pick it. But I almost regret having raised it to level 5 because now it's above my practice account. And it has more distance. So it hits just a little bit different. I think it actually has a little bit better accuracy too. Jason goes first. What is the accuracy on that? What is the accuracy on a APOC 5? I don't even know what the accuracy is. Playing my clubs and I don't even know my own club numbers. Let me look real quick. Clubs, drivers. I'm on my phone. APOC. Hey, get back down there. Apocalypse. It's at 75 accuracy when it's at level 5, so it's 1.5 per ring. Yes, I picked a Titan. No, go ahead. Make me pick the ball over and over again. We always like that. Right on the transition. Max. About 3 topspin. I'm going to take the wind out. It's 1.5 per ring, so there's 3. It's about 2.5 rings. Take the wind out, put the forward power back in. Max overpower hook. And I got all of it. Let's see if I can hit that fairway properly. Nope, it's going to end up in the rough. Almost. I probably should have just left the wind in. The wind is such a variable. You have to do something for it because one round you'll get one wind and the next round you'll get another. So if you don't address it, I'm starting in a little bit too far to the left. When I'm epic failing on the left. So I almost need to go out just a little bit on the setup instead of being dead center right on that transition between the second and third cut of the rough. I may need to go to the right just a little. Let's see if I can top spin this up. Try and get as close to me as humanly possible from this distance. Be right. I'm going to go right off the edge of the cup. See if I can hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my wind adjustment right. Get in the hole. Ooh, close. Close. Picking up the eagle. That will work. Woo! Recovered. Don't try that at home. All right, hole number 2. Let's see if we can get the Albie on hole number 2. Let's see if I can stick the drive. I've been in the rough and the sand more often than not on hole number 2. Let's go look at hole number 2. I just want to look at it, just make sure I'm thinking of the right hole. All right, I'm thinking of the right hole. I'm trying to get over to the other side with a power 5 ball. Power 5, power. Using power 5. And they have some power 5s in the store right now. What do they got? What do they got? Yep. We do have some power 5s. I'm going to use an extra mile and a berserker. I've got 1, 2 holes that I'm using power 5s on. So I'm going to need 2, 4, 6 of them, and I've got 6 power 5 balls. So I have just enough to get me through the rest of the tournament. I suffered along on the front, and I played this hole on the front where I did the layup. I actually think, I could save myself a ball here. I got to go for it. What the heck? All right. See if we can get that again. Maybe we'll get an opponent. This is the problem when you wait until the last minute to try and play, is I'll sit here and spin out to try and get an opponent. Hey, baby. Hey, Buster. What's up, Buster boy? We got an opponent. Wow. Did you have a good nap there, buddy? Got my puppy out here, so maybe that's a good luck. Right, here we roll. I don't need quite all the top spin. I do max overpower, and it does carry a little bit farther down in there, and I want to be on this right-hand side. 4-8. That's 4-2. That leaves me 6. That's about a quarter of a ring. A little less than a quarter. Pretty close. Let's see if we can hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if I can stick on the right-hand side without rolling all the way to the end. The problem here is I've been in the rough, I've been in the sand, and I've overshot. So when I put in all of the topspin, I actually overshot the green. So this is one of the few times I've actually been in the right spot. Little Buster's a mama's boy, wanted to go in the house. It's like, what are you doing? Leave me outside. I'm not a dog yet. I'm just a puppy. Let's see if they can make that over. You can make it over with the Titan if you catch it right. The thing is that you have to come out on the left-hand side, and the tendency is that on the left-hand side it wants to drop down, and they're super lucky they didn't end up in the sand. All right, I'm doing a 30% wind adjustment. So 1.3 times 2.7, 3.51 rings. There's my max club. Looking towards max. Looking towards I'm in mid. So divided by 1.5. I'm going to do a mid adjustment, which is I'm going to do it at 1.5 per ring. See if we can get up there close. Give myself at least a look at it. So it's 2.34 rings. 2.34 rings, and I got to snap it off. Hitting it perfect. Missed Albie by that much. It's just a little teeny bit more backspin, and it would have hit and then rolled out and then rolled out, and I would have had a much better shot at it. But I was definitely right there on the edge of that cup with a 30% wind adjustment. What's funny about these holes is that I've talked to teammates that are like, you know, what elevation adjustment are you using on that hole? And it's like, I'm using this adjustment, and they're using some other adjustment. They're making shots, and I'm making shots. There's one of the holes where one of my teammates is not doing any adjustment at all, and I'm doing a 30% adjustment. And I was doing a 20 and then hit it to the right and it went in the hole. So, and they were doing a 0 and they're making it a hole. It's a crazy deal. The elevation stuff is not, I think just depending on what club you're bringing into the hole, it seems like it's different. Right there. Close. Nice shot, man. We both had a little bit of a look at it. Perfect. In the hole. Would have been nice to pick up an Albie there, but Eagle is definitely the goal on this hole. It's giving yourself an Albie look is what's important. What's important is to give yourself a look on every single hole, to put yourself in the right spot, that on every single hole, you're giving yourself a look at it. I will forfeit. See if we can get all my counts in. This is the last one to qualify. I will forfeit. That is the very next hole. I'm undecided on how I'm going to go down that hole. I'm telling you. I've been doing the rough bump, the front rough bump, and the reality is that if you're going for hole-in-one, the front rough bump is definitely your best opportunity. But it's super dangerous. So it's the risk versus reward. If you hit it perfect and you start off in this spot, you got a serious chance of getting a hole-in-one. If you don't hit it perfect, you got a serious chance of ending up in the brown stuff. And I'm not talking about just a little bit of brown stuff. I'm talking about brown stuff. Because if you hit to the left, you're on the fairway and you're gone. If you hit to the right, you're in the sand and you're gone. There is another rough bump that you can do down here, but you really got to get close to this edge. And if you, the way the wind is blowing in this tournament along this line right here. And so if you're over here and you've got to get closer up in the front in order to get the ball going to the cup, you're taking a risk. You got to get right up against that edge, and there's not enough room to work out the wind without having to involve the sand. The other way you can go is to come out here and try and bring it over, but you really, it's hard even with 3 side spin ball to get that movement to the cup. And I believe this is the hole that ate my lunch on the front, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got a par on it. Let's look. Yeah, I got a par on this hole in the front. And that's what ruined my front side. I mean, I could have at least had the 14. So let's put my thinking cap on here. I really think for round stability, I can't afford, I picked up the shot on 1. I can't afford to drop a shot here. I still have stuff going on. So I'm going to play it safe just because of what happened on the front. I'm going to bring a katana. I'm going to bring a sniper. Open up that pin chest. I think there's another one behind it. Get that one rolling, get that box going, and let's roll. And I'm going to play it safe just because I don't want to end up parring this hole twice in a row. Even though I know that rough bump is the shot. I would rather get a birdie than to risk it going for the hole-in-one and end up with a par. Because you can't recover from that. I mean, you could pick up something on another hole and go, okay, I'm using this to cover it. But you got to pick up shots here. You can't afford to drop shots off the minimum. The minimum score on this is a birdie. I could do this shot right here that my opponent's doing because you do have a little bit better look at it from back here. And that was a pretty blasé wind adjustment. And they put curl on it. Yeah, that's what happens when you eyeball wind adjustments. That's why it's so important to use the ring method. Where's minimum? It's minimum club. That's 1.5 per ring. So 3.7 divided by 1.5. It's 2.71 rings. There's 2, 5, 6, 7. Try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. I think from back there, I might actually have to, if I did that shot right there from back there, I'd probably have to do a little bit bigger wind adjustment. I only did a 10%. And it looks like it might have been 20, or I might be in mid club. Let's see what the deal is here. If I'd have did mid club, could have been a 3.9 versus a 2.7. Is that right? 3.9. Oh, it'd be a 3.4. So maybe I should be hitting mid club. That'd been a 3.4 instead of a 2.9. Maybe mid club, even though you're at minimum, mid club with a 10% wind adjustment. That is no bueno. In the hole, birdie. Make a note here. Plus 10, mid club. All right. A little note action on that. I'm going to change how I'm doing that hole because I'm not going to end up with another par on that hole. And I'm not interested in getting pars on par threes. That's round killer shit. Hole number 13. Hole number 13. Here we go. Going out on the course. Playing some golf clash. All right. My upper developed count, I'm using a power 5 ball here, and I'm not having to use any overpower. But I don't have enough power 5 balls to risk. Is this the hole? Let's think here. No. I think this is the hole I can bring a power 5 ball on. So I'm going to bring a Zerk. This is what I was saying. This is the other hole I was saving these for, and I'm bringing that bag right there. Bag number 1. All right, let's see if we can get the eagle here. Let's see if we can pick it up. Well, the whole goal of bringing the power 5 ball is that I don't have to use any overpower. But my trajectory has been wrong. I'm ending up more on the right-hand side, and the right-hand side, the rough is a little bit deeper. And so when I get through, I'm getting through super easy. But when I don't get through, it's like, wow, it's like a totally different deal. This is the same thing that happened in the 2019 Summer Major. It was just like this was an inconsistent hole. Like sometimes I like got over there and was like, wow, I can't believe how easy that was. And then sometimes I didn't get over there. I'm like, why? What the hell? Nothing changed. I want to go in that area right there. And I am like way off from this. So I'm going to take 5-1. That is close. 5-1. I'm going to put some of that power back into it. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I got the trajectory right so that it'll bleed through. That bounce is good. Nope. I over curled it. Over curled that one. That hole's pissing me off. I'm gonna have to. I need to put more curl on it. So what I need to do is that I'm not giving myself enough room for the curl to become effective. So I'm trying to get as far over here as I can so that I can get the bleed out. And what I need to do is move it to the right so that I have more room for it to go forward so I can put all the power back in it. And then I can put more curl on it because it clears me on the left-hand side. And I just need to give myself more room. I'm trying to pinch it down there, and I'm not giving it enough room for the curl to do its thing. That's my bad. I know better. Oh, I missed this on my 77 account, and I was right on the edge of the cup. I mean, like we're literally right on the edge of the cup. And wind's not really going to play a factor here. I'm going to go off just a titch. I'm going to hedge my bet. See if I can hit it perfect. Oh, I hit it great to the right. Great to the right. And wind did play a factor. If wind didn't play a factor, setting it up on the left-hand side like that should have opened up the right where I could have been. I had at least an opportunity for it to go in, but I was so close that wind wasn't a factor, is what I was thinking. But something played a factor there. That was a one ring great to the right, and it should have been closer. That's what you get for putting yourself in the rough. Rough. And well, we got the hole surrounded. I got it on the right-hand side, and you got it on the left. So that freaking hole is like, ha ha. All right, birdie. Make some notes here. I will forfeit, and we will move on to the next hole. What is the next hole? Hole number 5. This is the gravity-defying hole. Hole number 5. Earlier today, I swirled the hole 2.5 times, and it popped out, which is gravity-defying. That's against the law of nature. Once you get past the 180 mark when you're swirling, at that point, the ball is caught in a gravity well and it will not pop out. It may come around the hole like this and then roll out, or come around the hole like this and roll out. But once it gets past the 180 and it starts swirling, it's on a downward trajectory and gravity has a hold of it, and it can't do anything but go in the hole. Except in Golf Clash. They were getting super cute where that stuff happened all the time. And then they calmed it down a little bit, and now they've tightened. They've gone back to their, hey, let's get cute range, and they're doing the gravity defying ball again. I understand it's an arcade game. That's the one thing I like about Golf Clashes is that it gives you an arcade feel, but it does give you simulation at the same time. You've got to adjust for wind correctly. You've got to be able to get that stuff dialed in to get it right. And I like the fact that some of it is arcade as far as the look goes, but you still have it still follows the law of nature. But the swirling the cup thing is not. I mean, just think about it when they send a satellite out or they send some probe out and they use a planet to give it a slingshot, a gravity assist to help speed it up. They don't do multiple orbits on that planet or that moon. They slingshot around. They do a 120, maybe up to a 180, but anything past 180, now they're actually losing speed and they're caught in the gravity well of that planet. So that's how physics works, except in Golf Clash. My opponent's using a Marlin. Isn't it perfect? Get in the hole. Come on. A little short. What hole are we on here? I'm using a 12.5%. 1.125 times 3.5. It's 3.93 rings. Max club. I mean, I am at max. Trying to dial it up. Just a little short. Wants to bleed out a little fast here, so I want to make sure I'm just a little short on that side of the cup. 3.5, so it's 3.93 rings. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 9, 3. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if we can have another gravity-defying ball or if it actually goes in the cup. These elevations are killing me. I was doing a 10 and I was just on the left-hand side of the cup. So I upped it to a 12.5. I went to a 15 and ended up on the other side of the cup. I went to 12.5, so I split the difference. And I'm still on the left. And then I'll come back on another one and I'll go, okay, I'm going to go back to 10, and then bam, it's right at the cup. Or I swirl the cup. I swirled the cup on a 10. Not interested in playing these par threes. Especially this one. You do not want to waste my hole-in-ones on this hole. Although I should, next time I get that hole, I think I will practice setup. All right, hole number 15. Hole number 15. What is hole number 15? It's a par 5. This hole right here is pissing me off too as far as elevation. In one-on-one play, I don't use any elevation at all, and I can end up in the cup. And here, if I don't do any elevation, I'm way off to the left. And so I did a 10, still off to the left. Did a 20, still off to the left. Did a 20 again just to see what it was at. Hit a great to the right and went in the hole. All right, I'm going to take a Titan, the king of balls. Like every tournament, this tournament is sponsored by Titan. That bag right there will work. Bag number 1. This is one of those tournaments where I really would like to see them do where you have to pick a bag and you can only play with that bag for each round. So like you have to declare a bag for the opening round, you have to declare a bag for the weekend round, because a lot of these tournaments, like we'll switch a whole bunch of clubs, but like if you had to actually pick a bag, there's some holes you might be giving it up on. Like some people may bring out, there's several holes that you may bring out a sniper, but there's other holes that sniper will hurt you. So like some people may bring out a guardian because they can, and it works out great on certain holes because you need the raw distance. But then there's that other hole that you really need the ball guide and the topspin. Same thing with your shorter clubs. You may be on those holes that, like, this hole really lends itself to backspin, and you may not be able to get as much backspin as you need. So it's just like playing real golf. You go out there and you've got, what is it, 12 or 13 clubs that you can have in your bag. And if you get out there and go, damn, I wish I had this kind of club, or I wish I had this driver. I've got a 10-degree driver and I got a 12.5-degree driver. And sometimes I'll play on courses where like the 10-degree driver is better. Or if you decide you're going to bring two different drivers, then you have to give up another club. Maybe you give up one of your irons that you don't use very often. But you have to declare a bag. You can't just run up to the clubhouse and go, hey, I'm going to switch bags. Two nine. About a ring and a half. Hitting it perfect. Just trying to get myself up there towards the rough. Earlier in the week, I was coming out here and doing a max overpower shot with all the curl I could muster and trying to get out into this area so that I could use this rough right here and do a rough bump. And I was just trying that rough bump to see what it looked like. And when the way the wind's blowing right here, that rough bump's actually not too bad. And I think when I was doing the rough bump, I was doing a 20% wind adjustment. Because if you didn't do a 20% wind adjustment, I was eking towards the sand. So I was doing a 20% and ended up right at the cup. See if my opponent can get it in. But here I'm doing a 30% wind adjustment. I'm trying a 30. I've been trying a 20, and a 20's been putting me to the left, and the wind's blowing to the left. So it's like I'm not pulling out enough wind. I keep ending up on the same side my opponent was at. And the last time I was here, I hit the grate to the right and it went in the hole. So I was obviously off to the left. There's Max Club. And it wants to bleed out a little bit. The ball guide is slightly lying as far as like bleed out. I'm going to go right towards the edge of the cup over there. So it's a 2.4. It's 3.1 rings. There's 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, got a grate to the right. Woo! That's 2 times I've hit it great to the right and it's gone in the hole. The last time I hit it great to the right, it went in on the other side, and this time it went in on that side. So that's the deal. I mean, can't be good, be lucky. All right, I'll take it. I will take it. That is a crazy deal. I'm trying to catch one of those perfect where it goes in the hole, because then it's a little, it's a little more repeatable shot. So, I mean, I hate going into. I will tell you that we played a tournament. It was like coming out of the winter, coming into the beginning of the new year, and there was a par 3, and I, for the life of me, could not get that ball to drop. And then I hit it great to the right and got a hole in one. And then the very next time through, I got on it and I hit another great to the right and got a hole in one. And it's like I kept working the adjustment and I could not get it right. And then the weekend round, I just gave up and I said, why fight the system? So I forced and I purposely hit it great to the right twice. Perfect. And did not freaking get it in the hole. So then I was in my practice account and I went out there and I set it up the same way and I hit it perfect and it went in the cup. I was like, there's just no rhyme or reason. Same exact setup. Same exact deal. All right, hole number 16. Hole number 16. What is hole number 16? This is the par 3 right here. This is a 60% wind adjustment. Times. Is this the right one? Yep, that's the right one. Yep, that's the hole. That's the hole. That's the beast. I'm using a Navigator, which is the lowest wind Power 1 ball I got. Off we roll. Off we roll. All right. Let's see if we can get another hole in one here. Hit 2 hole in ones on this hole this week. Started off with a 50% wind adjustment, and then I went back and watched some videos. I hit 2 hole in ones on it. I went back and watched the videos and did the reverse math on what I actually pulled, and I was doing a 60% wind adjustment. And I'm on track for the hole if I hit it perfect, but the ball, there's a spot down here, and if I catch the right spot, the ball guide's not lying. But the ball guy wants to do that appear, disappear crap. And usually when that happens, you'll end up short. So I'm on the right track. It's just the ball's ending up short because my ball guide's lying. Okay, so 2.9 is 4.65 rings. And I'm going to come forward just a little bit more. Let's see if I can get out here where I can see what the heck's going on. So it's 4.64 rings. There's 4, 6, 4. Let's see if I can hit this perfect. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if the ball guy was lying to me this time. In the hole. 3 hole in ones on that hole this week. Woo! Hitting it perfect. In the hole. And I went forward. So what I've been doing is on that ridge, I've been trying to pull back a little bit where it's flat on this side of the ridge. And I've been 3.5 rings off the transitional surface, and the ball guide is lying its butt off. It's like, it's telling me it's appearing and disappearing, but I moved it forward just a little teeny bit. So I was right on the forward edge of that little ridge where I actually, if I was 3.5 rings off, I actually had to engage a little bit of right-hand side spin instead of left-hand side spin. And right at the cup, right at it. All right, hole in one. That's what I'm talking about. 2 holes left. Picking it up a little on the back. Hole number 8, we have to get an eagle on this hole. I'm going to pick my bag first and I'm going to look at it just to make sure I'm dealing with the right hole. And you can do this with a Titan. Depending on your club, it's all about what clubs you have. Hold on. Let me open up one of those chests. Get it rolling. Can't win club cards if you don't have open chests. No open slot. No chests. That's how it works. Okay, I gotta hit this perfect. If there's no other drive that you gotta hit perfect in this round, this is the drive. You've got to hit this drive perfect. What's funny is that earlier I was putting in max topspin, and I actually overshot the hole where it got on the green and then it ended up on the rough on the other side. I blew through the break and ended up on the other side. So I took just a titch of the topspin off, and now I'm ending up on the fringe on the front. And I'll tell you, I would rather be on the fringe on the front than be in the rough on the backside. Who's your caddy? You. Who's your caddy? It's an awesome thing going out on a course and having a caddy. Those guys know the course. I've got a buddy who caddied out at the Masters in Augusta. I can't remember what he told me, but I think it's if you caddy so many rounds, you get to play a round. So he's gotten to play that course a couple times. I've been out on that course, and it is fantastic, absolutely pristine. Hitting it perfect. I think that's going to be on. It's got the speed to be on. Slow down through the break. I hit through the break, so I'm going to have probably a chip shot. That will be fine. I've been having to take chip shots from the other side over here, but this will be much better. Much mo. Got to get an eagle on this hole. Oh, excuse me. It's part of the minimum score. You've got to get an eagle. And if you're playing from the pro tees, you definitely have to bring out a bigger ball just to get over to this side. And I'm not sure, you still have to use some power even with a power 5 ball in order to fully get over there. Got a bunch of my clanmates that have upped their game to pro. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this account right here. I'm going to practice practice this off. I'm going to go out and play this off week so that I can get it up to Rookie 3. And then next week, I'll play it. I'll play up to the promotion zone and get it up to pro. And I may go out on Monday's practice round and show a pro round where I'm showing what it looks like in pro and just like what it takes to get the minimum score. You really have to play in a bracket. It's the first thing you have to focus on is what club, what ball to bring, and where are you going to land to set yourself up for the shot going to the cup to pick up that eagle, to pick up that albie. And so while you think, hey man, it's the shot going into the cup that's important, what's important is putting yourself in the right spot so that you have that shot. And so that what happens is if you put yourself in the right spot every single time, the minimum score is like given. And you really have to practice and keep really good notes and work on your elevations and work on your stuff in order to dial it in to the cup. And a lot of that has to do with the clubs that you have in your bag. In the hole. I shot. So I may go out on Mondays and practice and do a pro just to show like what it takes to get the minimum score and what's possible. In my experience, in almost all cases, you can get in the same exact position from the pro tees as you can from the rookie tees so that the shot coming into the cup is exactly the same. The only difference is you've got a higher wind. But sometimes you have to bring out a bigger ball in order to make that happen. And so when you start playing pro, and especially when you start playing expert, especially when you play expert, because you need to be able to go out there and practice with the ball that you're going to use in the tournament. So when you get to expert, you've got to have a ball inventory. And you got to be willing to spend power 5 balls to go out and practice. All right, hole number 18. Let me go look at the hole real quick. Hole number 18. All right, this is the hole. Doing an extra mile and a Titan, the king of balls. suppose I could use a kingmaker. Let's use a kingmaker. It's not the king. And that bag will work. I'm doing the rough bump and I'm taking 10% off on the wind. And the deal here is it's all about the speed going into the cup. So it's lying. I'm taking 10% off. So it's 0.9 times whatever the wind is. The drive, you want to be somewhere between 380 and 390 if you're bringing a power 3-ball and a sniper. Even though I'm at mid club, I'm doing a max adjustment. So I don't want to hit any farther than that because then I'll start getting into where I'm eking more towards minimum club instead of mid club. And then it'll change my setup here. So 3.6, there's 3. 3.6, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I know my opponent's probably thinking, people are thinking, man, dude, why don't you just get all the distance? Because there's a spot out here. I want to be somewhere between 380 and 390. 385 is perfect. If I hit it any farther than that or any shorter than that, then I'm more towards max or I'm more towards minimum. So 386, that's perfect. That puts me right at mid club. Or pretty dang close. And you can leave the wind in. You can leave the wind in and you can put overpower on it and you can get yourself out there to the point where you're in long iron range. You can pound that ball out there. But I actually haven't practiced for that, so I don't know what the adjustment would be, whether it'd be the same out there if you're in that range than if you're in this range. So 2.7. It's 2.43 rings. 3 rings off. I'm going to go right past the cup. That's actually just a little too far, I think. There, I guess that's about the same. 2.43. Let's just hit the flagpole and then we won't have to worry about it. There's 2. There's 2.5. It ain't close. Oh, I hit it great. Got the speed right, though. That's a great. Perfect. Goes in the hole. I got to get up tomorrow, and I got a bunch of work to do tomorrow. A bunch of quotes to give. Got to go to 2 inspections and write up a quote that I looked at today. Finished the job today, and I was whooped. I'm going to stay up late tonight and get into a bracket. I'll get into a bracket at midnight. Into hole. Eagle. That is not the Albie I'm looking for, but I will take it. I actually don't even know what I'm at. I haven't been paying attention. I've just been shooting the holes. Seems like I picked up a couple. Picked up a hole in one. I was 13, 14, 15. I think I shot a 15 on the back. 16. I actually got an Albie, so I think I got a 16 on the back. So maybe a 29. Really, I've been looking. Where am I at? It's a draw. How much time I got left on this video? All right, I got enough time here. I want to look at my shot here. So, like 3.5 rings off. Ah, okay. Got it. Good game. Good luck in the tournament. No problemo. Minus 29. So I did actually pick it up on the back. Shot 13 on the front, 16 on the back. Picked it up a little. 30s at the top. Same thing in this bracket as in my my 77 bracket. Got some 30s at the top. I'm really thinking my weekend round I need to shoot a 30 plus. So I'm looking, my goal really is 32. I always like an even number better than an odd. But anything over 30 gives you at least a shot for a banner. So that's the look at it. Let's see what they've got up here. Kind of qualification rounds 15. 1.6, got a couple banners. 1.6 billion. Everybody in this bracket is a master, either a current or an ex-master. At some point they were masters 2 or better at some point in their career. If you get the expert 2, you're always going to play against experts. You get the masters 2, you're always going to play against masters. It doesn't matter where you play, whether you're playing rookie, pro, expert, or masters, you're always going to play against everybody else in the bracket is going to be master. So everybody in this bracket's got the same exact equipment as me, if not better. They're a current master. 16,968 games. How many clubs do you think they got with 8,638 wins? The first tournament they won was the 2017 Thanksgiving Day tournament. That was the first tournament I ever won. Let's see what kind of 13 coming in. A relatively new master, working their way up. They've been playing for a long time, but finally got themselves up. Tate, 3 billion earned. Played in a few tournaments. We got some awesome stuff. That's the cool thing about playing in these brackets is everybody in here, the competition level is super tight. The competition level just for the scores are tight. In a lot of brackets, especially if you're playing in like Ricky, I'll tell you, the Ricky brackets are the hardest to win. There'll be somebody in the bracket that'll shoot a 34. And there'll be somebody that shoots a 32, but then there may be 130, and then there's like 129. And so if you shoot a 29 or a 28, you could potentially, get a pretty high place. But in here, let's see, I bumped up, so we were 26. Look at how many people that shot the minimum score that aren't going to make it. We're at 68. So 18 people shot the minimum score and didn't make it. Let's see if there's people moving their way up. Just about everybody's finished. Few people down here at the bottom that may or may not finish their rounds, but the competition is going to be super tight. This means that when you come into the weekend round, every single person in the bracket has shot the minimum score. So you have to shoot better than the minimum score just to get, the minimum score will go all the way to like 50th place. So you've got to shoot better than that in order to get a above 50 score. So tight brackets. Not too bad. Should have a fairly decent tiebreaker. All right, that was the opening round in the Safari Sunrise tournament in my practice account. Getting it done on the back 9. Very nice. Covered that drop shot. That's one shot. Hole number 3. That drop shot was a 30. And coming in with a 15 and looking at where they're at up here with a 15. Did they get an Albie? They got one Albie, so I'd be probably up here either tied for first or in second place. So that's the difference. All right. Thanks for watching.